till I'm on top.
Yo, no, I ain't the type to give up. If I do something, man, I do it till I get what I want. I turn a business out of nothing into something I love. I got a poker face, but honestly, I'm not one to bluff. I flip a switch, never miss, man, I always stay up. Don't let them see you, bitch, always have a plan to stay tough. This life ahead of you ain't easy, it was built to be rough. But that's what makes a personality, is tragedy, bruh. So keep your head on your shoulders. Now we ain't out here moving rocks, we out here moving boulders. Now we ain't getting posterized, we out here making posters, and we ain't got nothing to hide.
What up, what up, what up? Welcome back to Pregaming here on Sports Money. Monday to Friday, 6 p.m. You know what we do. We take the last minute look. Line moves, cash flow splits, injury analysis, player movement. You name it, we got it. We use it all to break it down and make informed betting decisions to beat the books over the head like a club baby seal. It's going to be a fun night tonight. We got a big card out there after what was kind of a little bit of a lady yesterday. You know, obviously the two big national football games out there. Shout out to them Eagles. You know they got the job done. No sweat. Some of you guys are out there, man. Some of you guys are out there thinking the Commanders, what? Rookies in the playoffs that far deep? We talk about it. You got to learn how to lose before you can learn how to win. I don't necessarily believe that all the time, but no way Jalen Hurts was going down in that game. Big W. In fact, creative playbook from the offensive coordinator and staff. Man, I was laughing because they 7.5 minutes on that first drive for the Commanders, and a couple of my buddies are panicking, and they're like, "Hey, this isn't looking good. They can't stop them." And I was like, "These are the scripted plays." And then what happens? They kick three, and one play touchdown. Saquon Barkley goes to the house. You knew that was it. That was it. Now the final score was ugly, but having to watch that game was insulting. The Eagles should have easily, and not to mention, look. I know some of these boys get confused, but the Lions fade the team that after they play the Lions, you fade them, boys. No sweat, -6. You guys didn't need me to put that out there in the silver and gold members. Silver and gold members. We did make money in the NFL yesterday with some special plays for you guys, but you didn't need me to tell you it was the Eagles. Now, we talked out loud about the teaser. We got the Bills and the Eagles teaser. Sadly, it'll be the last time it cashes this year. But it cashed again. So, for all of them, fade Mahomes, or you're going to fade Mahomes in the championship. I get it. But, the one thing that you don't hear anybody talking about, the referees, right? Yeah, they're talking about the referees because of the poor calling and how they're in bed with the Kansas City Chiefs. That's just lazy. That's not doing the homework. And, it's important that we identify these people that are scabs, that put a bad name on the industry, because that's just lazy. You got to do your due diligence. If you did your due diligence, you would have looked and seen that they had a reffing advantage for the Bills. All the X's and O's, all the numbers, all the stats, everything showed these referees supported the road teams. In fact, Kansas City had a sub 500 record with that officiating crew. And I don't think they had won their last 3 in the playoffs, if I'm not mistaken by that. So, or their last 3 in the regular season, rather. So you got to do your research. You got to do your homework. Just sitting there saying it was going to be them. Yeah, you know what? It was them. You got it. Kudos. Congratulations. But it wasn't the referee factor. Now, there were some missed calls. There were some bad calls in there. I did give the silver and gold members the first quarter under 9.5. They got a 10. So we missed that play, and we missed our touchdown parlay bomb there with Ertz and Goddard. But cashed everything else. Got that money. Big stuff out there. I told you guys last week, silver and gold memberships available. And appreciate you guys that do have the opportunity to, commit with us and support us and do the thing that we're doing. I know a lot of you guys got plays for me this weekend, and there was a lot of winners out there. And, we're listener supported. So the contributions, the donations, the memberships, all good stuff. But we need you guys to pay it forward. Pay it forward. I know personally, I think it was 14-2 on the plays that I gave out this weekend. So silver and gold memberships are out there. Now, damn near everyone's gotten a bronze member. through the gifted memberships that are out there, and we love that. We love seeing you guys in the bronze. We're going to do some special members-only stuff here as we move into the second half of the NBA and NHL seasons out there. I know a lot of you guys asked for an NHL-only show. Okay, we're going to do it. We've got some other exclusive programming for our members that do show the support. And take that time. If you haven't done so already, take a look. Silver and gold membership's going to have a couple of plays. I know I'm waiting on one more tonight, maybe two more tonight that will launch out there. So, we're going to give you guys free content. Some of you guys want more content. And I know a bunch of you guys got a bunch of winners this weekend, and I'm happy to share it, even though we weren't live on screen. So that's going to be the forum in which we do that. So there you go. Let's go. Let's make some money tonight. We got ourselves a big NHL card, as I mentioned. We got the Kings and the Red Wings. We've got the Devils and the Flyers. That's our favorite spot. That's our favorite spot from last year. It's back to attack this year tonight. We'll go Pittsburgh and San Jose. We'll lace up the high tops and trade in the ice skates. Go to Holy Cross. Holy shit. Can you believe it? Holy Cross and Boston U. We're going to go to Iowa and Ohio State for a Big Ten battle there. We've got Incarnate Word and New Orleans. Nolans. Then we got Nolans and Toronto. The Raptors up in the 6, baby. We're going to go Houston and the Celtics. And then we'll wrap her up with Denver, Chicago. Got a player prop in there. Nice juicy player prop. And I upped the game up. There's one more game that will make this list here tonight with you guys as we're here. So lots of action. All games I am personally invested in. And I think we have a great chance to make some cash here. So we had a big week last week. Gave a little back towards the tail end, but had a winning weekend to kind of reboost it and fill those holes. And let's see if we can't roll some profit. Let's go. I think three or 4 weeks in the green or in the black, however you want to look at it. I wouldn't say in the green. They're never in the black. I mean, I get it. It's not red. But we'll just say in the green. We'll say in the green. That's it. 3 or 4 weeks in the green. And we start a new one this week. So let's go. We might have a chance as well to change the poop list up. I'd like to get the Capitals off there. I'd like to cycle a few things in. So we'll see if we can do that. But I appreciate you guys all getting ready to rock. You know the deal. Thumbs up time, boys and girls. That's how we grow this channel. We need your help. Again, we love the membership, the donations. Get out there and get silver and gold if you haven't done so already. It behooves you. It's only a couple more steps. It's going to give you guys more plays, exclusives to our upper tiered members. But in the meantime, for this show, for a remote show, for any show or video that you see out there, take a second and hit the thumbs up button. It does help us a ton promote the brand with YouTube. And they'll do that by closing the comments, smash the thumbs up, then pop the comments open and we'll go again. Okay, let's do it. Shout out to T. Moss. He stuck Joe T. Joe T's got a downgrading ratio. 99.3% first comment from Joe T. Shout out to you, T. Moss. Thank you, my dude. Kid in there says, let's get it. I know what Joe T's going to say. I know, Joe T. The link wasn't out there till late. I got it. Sometimes life happens, man. But your 99.3% first comment ratio is still pretty good, Joe. Still pretty good. He's got 2 plays for us. He's got the Penguins and the Sharks first period over. He's got the Kraken and the Oilers first period over. Going after it. Juice is only juice if you get squeezed. Good luck on you, Joe T. I think I agree with both of those spots. I think I do, Joe T. Shot to Nasty Nate. He's going after it. Uh-oh. Nasty Nate alert. He's got the Celtics first quarter, the Celtics second quarter. But he's got player props. KP over 3s and Tatum over 3s. Uh-oh. I think I align with our guy, Nasty Nate, indirectly. Indirectly here, I think I align with our guy, Nasty Nate. You guys know the deal. They're either smashing or he's playing player props. You know what that means. Our Celtic Whisperer. Let's go. Lexicon's here. Irish Kings ready to go. Says it's showtime. There's my dude, Joe W. Nicholas Handy. Oldie. Spenny Penny Bombs is back and ready to attack. I'm hanging out with our guy, Spenny Penny Bombs. I hope he made some cash this weekend. I'm sure he did. You know how he rolls. Gerald Jones is in the house. Lakes Towson moneyline. Plus 115 for a little Towson action. Shout out to Robert McCormick. And Oldie saying Spenny Penny Bombs. Nice work last night, my guy. busted it up. I'm sure he did. That's Spenny Penny Bobs, man. You got to earn your nicknames up in these parts, and he earns that one. The Bobs, man. Timmy Two Shoes in the house says Palat and McDavid goals. McDavid likely to have a night. Yo, okay. I like to get down with some player props. The Food Temp Bets over 5.5 assists for Craig. Yeah, that one. You guys know the vowel game for me. Shout out to Irish King. Spenny Pennybaum's bringing the goods for us here. He came ready to play tonight. He's got DeJounte double. He's got Boncaro double. He's got D'Lo with the double. 70-1. Yeah. You had me. You had me at double, but I got one to add. Fucking dead pen. Happy to give you guys winners, but I want your winners. That's how I roll. All right. I'm going to have one to add for you there. Just played them all singles as well. They're all about 3-1. Shout out to David Wallace, Peter Gracia. Subhumans here. He's ready to roll. Got a big Champions League week coming up for Subhuman. Big Wednesday of action. Was it 13 teams? 13 teams in action? Joe T says, my mic sounds a little different. Is it just him? Might be. Should be okay. Shows my Yeti. Speaking of the Yeti, how about that? They did apply for the naming rights to be the Utah Yeti, and the copyright got stricken down. They took them down. They said, no dice. There's too many Yetis. I got a Yeti microphone. We know about the Yeti coolers. Rick J. Ronnie Lofton's here. Nanya's rocking with us. He likes the big player prop there. Dan Doherty's in the house. Nanya says, just got the boots off. Time to crack one and pop a squat. Shout out to our guy Keith at Each and Every Stride. Getting them ponies this weekend. I saw you had a big winner on the start of the horse racing program, Keith. I hope you did well. I'm sure you made a bunch of cash. Let's go. T. Moss likes the Magic and the Pelicans. Bo Jackson, he's our resident Toronto whisperer, the man of the six. He likes the Raptors money line tonight. He's not afraid to fade them. And he's saying Raptors tonight. Ron Walton likes Grayson Allen over 11.5 points and rebounds. T. Moss is just coaching up our guy Nunya. Mitchie Morver's rocking, and that's against his KP Tatum Brunson Levine over threes parlay. Expecting points. Says might just be him. I don't know. Is it quieter? Is it louder? I don't know what it's doing. I don't know what it's doing, but it says it's on the Yeti. Let's go. Subhuman says 36 teams all in action for Champions League on Wednesday. It's a huge slate. We made some cash that last Wednesday. So, we'll be back and ready to do it again, you guys. 3 p.m. Wednesday. Sounds like everybody's going to have to use a little sick time on Wednesday afternoon. Ron Lofton says Grayson Allen over 11.5 points and assists. Brian Smith's in the house. He says, I'm thinking about taking Penn State in this Michigan game in 12 minutes plus 9. And Rick James says NBA Kings same game parlay. Likes Keegan over 11.5 points. Monk over 5.5 assists, and Sabonis over 0.5 at 3. There's our guy, Perky Bumps in the house. Says Boston, come on, money line. Boston Common money line. The Tiger Golf League is what that is out there, boys and girls. The biggest match they got. Tiger versus Rory tonight. He likes Boston, and he likes the Lakers money line. Let's go. He says he already does feel bad. He received the coaching from T. Moss, and he's ready to go. There's a guy, Peter. Grassy with the $9.99 super sticker, my friend. Thank you so much for getting us rocking in the right direction, blessing our action, and pushing us off the dock here so the boat can take to the harbor. Let's go. Let's go, my friend. Thank you so much. Thank you, Peter. Man, it was a dehydrating weekend, so I'm trying to rehydrate here. But shout out to you, my friend. Thank you very much. Rockstar, dude. Fucking Rockstar coming in here giving us the super sticker. We appreciate you, brother. That means a ton. Let's go. On that note, let's have Peter Gracia's action blessing us moving in the right direction. We'll start with the NHL as we always do. We'll get through these 3 games. We'll talk about the 3 college basketball games. I've got 4 NBA spots, and we'll shut it up. We got to get moving. Got to get moving. Not enough time to do it. You guys know the deal. You guys always know the situation here. We're always under the gun, right? We're always trying to get it done. We're hustlers, man. We're hustlers, and hustlers got to get paid. So let's go with the Kings and the Red Wings here. Darcy Kemper going in goal with a 14-4-6 record, 2.09 goals against average, and a 92% save percentage. I was thinking as I was reading that aloud, I wonder from a goaltender perspective, they lost those 6 games in overtime. Is he really 14-10? I don't know. I didn't watch all those overtime games. Was he the guy that shit the bed, or was it his players just not scoring or not playing defense? I wonder the merit of the overtime loss stat when it comes to considering goaltenders. That will be something I have to pontificate as we roll forward here. But man, the Kings are struggling right now. How could you back the Kings? They're 2-4-1 in their last 7 games. And Kemper coming off a 3-goal and 24-shot performance. That was a 3-2 loss in overtime to Columbus. And on the other side of things, Detroit's not scoring. Still, 2 or fewer goals in 4 of their last 5 is 2-2-1. Our 2-2-1 is 2-2-1. They beat 2-2-1 in that last 5. How about that? And then we got Cam Talbot, 13-10-2. Respectable. You know what? You're going to take the L, just take the L. Don't go to overtime and tease us off. That's a little mental note, I think, when it comes to considering live betting. Live betting. If they go to overtime, it looks like Kemper's a loser, and it looks like Detroit can find a way to win. Keep that in mind as we live bet these games tonight. 2.9 goals against average, though, for Talbot, and a 90.6% save percentage. And, yeah, they're not scoring. I mentioned 2 or fewer goals for the Red Wings in 4 of their last 5 games. They're also getting outscored. 6-2 in their last 2 games. So maybe you know where I'm going with this one. We got a team that's not scoring. We got another team that's not scoring. We got to go take a look at the total. And that total, when you got 2 teams that don't score, especially on a Monday for me, has to do with this under. The spot that I'm rocking and rolling with here is the under 5.5. And look, we cashed on this one a couple of times already. It's the giveaway factor. When you're in a rematch spot against the team that you previously played there, the Red Wings and the Kings met this year. There's less than 2 days of rest. Opponent is less than a minus 137. They're 26-18. That's Detroit. Saying fade the Kings. But it's 10-32 to the under. 10-32 to the under. Now, I also shit on Cam Talbot. It is a little bit of a revenge opportunity because Cammy T, if he needs motivation, he used to play for the Kings. This is his first year with with Detroit. After having played out there, should be ready to go. So not only do we have teams not scoring, but we got a goalie fired up. And look, I shit on him for his record. He is 7-1 with a 2.72 goals against average in his last 8 games. So he definitely has the buy symbol tattooed on his face right now. Red Wings defense are allowing only 3 goals a game in their last 3 as well. So they are stepping up. It's not all doom and gloom for them boys, but on the same side of things, the Kings don't let goals either. 2.46 goals allowed per game is the 4th lowest in the NHL. Maybe it's because of Kemper. Maybe it's this Talbot spot. I love this under. I've been once bitten, twice shy last week with the with the Los Angeles Kings on these 5.5s, but I can't let it dissuade me from going out there and doing what's been successful time and again in the past, and going to rock it again. So we're going to jump in. We're going to take the NHL. We're going to go to the Kings. We're going to take the under 5.5, and reasonable. I think it was minus 110, minus 105 or 110 or so. I believe was 110s. Now 115s, 116s, 120s. So, we're looking at this thing steaming just a little bit to the under 5.5. Best number you can still get out there at circa is the under 5.5 at -110. And that should be good money. That's how we start the card tonight. We'll roll on to game number 2. We're going Detroit. I'm sorry. What's wrong with me? New Jersey Devils and the Philadelphia Flyers. Flyers did us dirty on Friday. Now, the flip side, and shout out to KV for the shout out to me, was that conversation about the hot city. Knucklemania was down there. The Sixers actually won a game outright as 10-point dogs. The Flyers just couldn't get it done. And maybe that's the exclamation point that they have on the season at this point here. They're playing the New Jersey Devils, the battle of essentially crosstown rivals, at least cross-river rivals. Big matchup here for these two teams. And you know the deal. We got Ersson going in goal for the Flyers. They love him. Team Sweden replacement netminder. Whoops. And then we've got Jake Allen going on the Devils side of the house. 7-8-1 is Jake Allen with a 2.67 goals against average and a 90.2% save percentage. Ersson, 14-8-2. Lots of miles on those tires. 2.8 goals against average, 89.1% save percentage. That's it right there. 2.627 for Jake Allen, 2.8 for Sammy Ersson. 90.2% for Jake Allen, 89.1% for Sammy Ersson. Very much a fact. Now, I do have trepidation around teams when their goaltenders are injured, and Markstrom is out. That's the reason why Ersson is in for the Four Nations Cup. He's taking over Markstrom's place in goal for Team Sweden. That being said, Flyers aren't scoring. Outscored 9-2 in their last 2 games. Ersson should be able to go out there and shut things down, but he's been struggling in his own right. He got busted up 6-1 to the Rangers. That was when they were kind of on that little hot streak there. And they get busted up 6-1 by the New York Rangers. Like they weren't even, like it was a minor league hockey team. And the Devils kind of went through their downturn. They've picked it back up with 2-game winning streak. The question is, what do we see from Allen? His most recent start, he was 29-32 saves. It was a 4-3 overtime win against his former club. Talk about the revenge factor for these goalies. I think that's a big deal. 4-3 win against the Montreal Canadiens. Lavados. Now, I told you, the favorite position of the NHL. It's the rematch. Revenge. You lose as a home favorite to the squad. Now you're on the road as a favorite. It's 625 and 317. It's a huge sample. It's clearly a 2-1, as long as the line isn't greater than a -200. Can't be. I mean, I don't understand the designation with the -200. I mean, I guess if they're just not a huge, I guess it goes into the maybe no team should be a -300. Maybe that's exactly what it is here. But I'm in. I'm rolling. We're going to harpoon these Flyers tonight. We're going to jump on the New Jersey Devils. I know the hot city. Hot City's hungover, man. Them boys, they see what they were doing in them streets last night down there in Philadelphia? They were pumped. Market Street was, I was going to say on fire, but it clearly wasn't on fire. It was packed. Had to be 100,000 people rolling around down there. They must have just emptied out of that hockey or that football game and rolled right into the streets of Philadelphia. No looking back. But I think there's a little bit of a hangover effect here today. It was a big game. Everyone's going to take that collective breath and then refocus on the Super Bowl in 2 weeks here. That's a tricky little trap spot for the Flyers who have had 2 days off. And furthermore, you can't quantify it in trends, but you know them boys were fired up this weekend. They came back after a road trip. They had Knucklemania in Philadelphia. They had Conor McGregor running around to every bar he could get into. Then they got the NFC Championship game out there. It was early in the afternoon, so you know everybody was partying after them Eagles went forward. I think it's a sleepy spot for the Flyers tonight. And I'm going to back these New Jersey Devils. And you get a price tag. -135s, 140s. It's reasonable. It's kind of the high end of where I'll go with the juice, but it's still a spot that I want to get involved with here. The rematch spot is so fucking huge. The revenge, the difference between the rematch and the revenge, you're playing the team again. The revenge, they beat you the last time out there. So they've got revenge on their minds. And I think it's going to be good enough to get that cash. We'll roll on to the last game we've got in the NHL tonight, and we'll pick this pace up here because we got a bunch of games to get to, and a bunch of them start at 7 o'clock. So let's simplify this breakdown a little bit for you guys here. I look at a lot of things. I look at the potential emotion, the factors that you can't quantify. I like to look at the trends, of course. I like not so much the splits when it comes to the NHL, but I'm not entirely sure what's going on with this Pittsburgh Penguins team. You don't know. It's Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Now, they're going to start with Nedeljkovic. He's 9-8-4. He's got a 3.26 goals against average and an 89.3% save percentage. Askarov is expected to be the goalie. He's unconfirmed for the San Jose Sharks. Bag of shit, yeah. 3.04 goals against average, 89.9% save percentage. Less of a bag than Nedeljkovic, but still a bag. And when I mentioned the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde here, you don't know what Penguins team shows up. They're outscored 9-2 in their last 2 games. The Sharks, I don't know. I mean, Nedeljkovic is struggling. 4 goals he allowed on his last 33 shots. It was a loss. It was an Anaheim Duck spot. We were on the Ducks. But, I don't know. I don't think you can back the Sharks. I mean, they're on a 6-game losing streak. That's not a spot I want to get involved with. I, again, had to consider the total, the back number. And you know damn well we got ourselves a little trend. How about this? We're back to the penalties trend. When you're getting less penalties over your last couple of games, your last 2 games than you're averaging on the season, you have less than 3 days rest, and the previous opponent had power play goals. In other words, you were sloppy, letting up fewer power plays, but more power play goals. What do you do when you get sloppy? You protect the net. When the total is exactly a 6.5, it's 11-22 to the under. This is the trend that we've cashed 4 times in a row on. It's also 13-20, so it does suggest a little play on the San Jose Sharks. But I think when you've got these 2 teams struggling to score goals, why fight it? Why force it? We can catch the 6.5. You can get even money on that 6.5. 11-22 trend. We've cashed it 4 times in a row. Cam Talbot will officially start. Maybe they were listening to pregame. Maybe they listened to pregaming before they decided they wanted to officially let us know that Cam Talbot is starting. But that's good. So we'll take the under 6.5 here. Pittsburgh Penguins, San Jose Sharks. Jay Main says, Zion got a broken line. Take his points over. Jay Peasy's in the house. What up, Jay Peasy? Let's go. Jay Main says, I'm from PHILLY. Broad Street Bullies, money line for me. Sixers money line tomorrow. Dale Fix says the Flyers have sickness going around. Jay Peasy says a bunch of guys out with the flu. I love the revenge factor. I love you're going to weaken that lineup and put the flu out there as well. Fuck yeah. Now, unless they have the flu game, I think we're in good shape. That's how we're going to pop the NHL's top tonight. Boys and girls, there's a 3-pack. Let's move into college hoops. All right, we're going to move this thing up. Let's get going. Let's see if we can't get through these things here. I got a couple things to do tonight, so I got to get these bets out to you guys. I got a couple of things to get ready on, and then we got to get the week schedule going. So it's big. It's important. We keep a brisk pace here. Trade in the old ice skates, bring out the old high tops, and we got Holy Cross. Holy shit. Holy Cross, 11-10, 3-5 in the Patriot. Bad. Then we got Boston College, 10-11, 4-4 in the Patriot. Still bad. We love these small spots here where you got teams where you just don't know who's going to show up. And they're certainly not getting capped and scrubbed like they should be. But I know that the respected bettors report came through, and they're all over Holy Cross. I also know that Holy Cross, I should probably give you guys the cash flow splits here. Let's do that. Let's start there. Sometimes I get excited. On a play, I want to share it with you guys, and there it is. 83% of the bets, but only 73% of the cash are on the Boston University Terriers. It has gone from 4.5 down to 3s. And there's that differential. When I talk to you about the, respected better action, one of the things I look for is, do we see a differential out there? Because we have reverse line movement. We've seen some 4.5s come down to 4s. There's a couple. Oh, there's still 4.5s out there. Let me look. We peek. You got a good swath of books to work with here. Hey, there's still some 4.5s out there. How about that? There's some 3s out there. So there has been some late movement that's come back in, which kind of makes sense. The public's coming in there seeing this line's down to a 3 for the home favorite in Boston and saying, okay, let's jump in on it. But we know we got that differential. We have no movement on the total. 64% of the bets and 64% of the cash are on the over. It hasn't moved. And two pretty gritty teams between these two squads here. With both coming off of wins. And it was a big deal for Holy Cross to beat Maryland or Loyola Maryland because they were losing to everybody, man. They were dogs across the board. They're still dogs, but, Bucknell, they lose 86-82. They did cover. They play American. They get busted up by 9 points as a 1.5-point dog. They play Army. They get busted up 76-71. I know it's not busted up, but they're still 1.5-point dogs. They get the outright win against Loyola Maryland. And if you look at the common opponents, Boston hasn't had it much better. Yeah, they beat Bucknell 85-82. It's because defense be damned. They were 1-point favorites. They covered. It was a tight game. They should have won. They did win, but they played no defense. And that was the big takeaway for me on that one. You're at home, and you're letting Bucknell come in there and put up an 82 spot on you. They lost back-to-back games against the service schools in Army and Navy. They beat Lehigh, but they lose at Colgate. So the problem is this team on the road, and how do they transform when they come back home? Interesting spot, though, to me was the early action. That is the sharp betting action. I typically see that early overnight. If that line's coming down, some of those books are readjusting that handicap to try to draw action and back on the other side. And the thing I was talking about when it comes to this Holy Cross team, this is a problem for Boston University. Holy Cross is 11-0 to the over in the dog spot after a road win. They're scoring points. And you're going to give me 4.5 in my back pocket? With respect to bettors whacking it, and now the public coming back in, moving this thing back to get maximum value out of this line? Yeah. You had me at Holy Cross because I'm just not a Boston University fan when it comes to, frankly, any of their sports. But that being said, their defense is suspect. Holy Cross is running an overtrain off of road wins out there, and that's enough for them to stay in this game. They don't have to win it outright. They just have to lose by no more than 4, 3.5. I'm going to double check the number I got. That's what I better do. So I'm spouting off. They better not lose by 4. Let's see. 4.5. I got 4.5. I got 4.5. I got a 4.5 at 5:46 p.m. at FanDuel. Remember, FanDuel's back on the plus side with us. We're making money on FanDuel. It's Fanatics. We got to be careful with Fanatics. When Fanatics is hanging the best number, we got to be careful. Got to be careful. It's a super public book. Doesn't get a lot of action. And they'll tease you. They'll bait and fuck you, is what I call that. This. Oh, what did I say? Boston? Yeah. It's Boston U. My bad. You know what's messed up is I put it's Boston U. My fault. It is absolutely a fate of Boston University. We're taking Holy Cross. And when they win, get back there and say, holy shit, he was right. Let's go. Onward, upward. Keep her moving. Big Ten battle. Big Ten battle. Remember what I said about the Big Ten. Historically, the home court is a big deal. Keep that in mind as we talk about this game. And we're looking at this Ohio State battle. Where'd it go? Where? There you are. With a line that opened up at 6.5, it has now moved to 7.5. 7.5. 49% of the bets, but only 44% of the cash. And yet it's moved a point. 157.5's gone to 156.5. There's correlated movement there because there was 77% of the bets and 78% of the cash on the under. It's correlated. The question is, what the hell's going on from the side perspective? Why are the bettors coming and taking Iowa, who have not covered in 4 straight, and are coming off a home win? 76-75, and that might say it right there. They beat up Penn State. They were at home. But they needed to win that game. They lost to Minnesota at home, 72-67. 5-point outright losses, 8.5-point favorites. That's what's going on with Iowa right now. They stink, they win. They stink, they win. They lost 89-99 to USC. They lost. These are all road games, by the way. UCLA 70-94. So they're stick on the road. And the flip side here, big statement for Ohio State to go out there and beat Purdue. 9.5-point dogs. They come through 73-70. Purdue is right to get plucked. But the reason I mentioned the home field or the home court is because if you look at Ohio State this year, their home record is just 500. And Iowa's 4-1. So as we get towards the second half of the season, I think you can expect Iowa to fade, especially when they start playing teams a second time through. And you can expect Ohio State to start getting some running gun action going at home. Let's not forget defending national champions and Hot City. But I got some more for you guys. How about some intersecting zeros? Iowa's a dog just stinks. When they're marked as a dog, it's for a reason. When they say somebody knows something, it's us with the Sports Almanac. Maybe I should change the name of the show to Sports Almanac. Iowa, 0-11 against the spread as the dog. 0-11. And they're losing by 16 points a game. 16 points a game. Ohio State, they're 9-0 against the spread. When they play a team that allows greater than 44% shooting, and Ohio State shot greater than 35% from three the previous game. Think about that. That's all around defensive inefficiency and offense on the uptick, especially from outside the perimeter. You're letting me shoot better than 44.5%, and we're shooting better than 1 for 3 from the three. And last but not least, they're 9-0 when they're on a favorite of less than 8 days of rest after a spread victory of 8 or more points. When they're getting hot, they stay hot. That way they don't have to get hot again. And they shoot well. And if the team's going to let them shoot well, they bust them up. And we got a team that plays as a dog and loses. How could he not be on Ohio State for this game? It's not the proverbial, even if it loses, it's still the right side. Got to take Ohio State, man. They should be good to go. It's a reasonable number. 6.5 is now 7.5, but they should go out there and win this thing by double digits. Again, we talked about it. Iowa's losing by margin, and then some. And here we go. Ramon's chiming in. What's up, Ramon Scott? He says it's the Mikey Monet consensus play. Ohio State minus 7.5. Let's go. Let's go. Shout out to Ramon Scott. He's running so hot. Hopefully you guys are checking out the morning steam at 9 a.m. I saw a bunch of you guys check them out this weekend. Some monster views for our guy Ramon Scott this weekend. We love it. Love to put the shows on if you guys are going to watch them. Nobody wants to stream to 5 people. That is for sure. Here's another battle of bullshit. We're going to take a little incarnate word. And Nolans. Now, both these teams are 2-7 in the conference. Let's just keep it real. They both stink in conference, which is why we get an opportunity. Only 2,600 tickets coming in. They got to put a number on it. So let's exploit that number. Not that there's a missed number. It's just potentially a softer number, right? We don't want to take there's certain ways that we want to do it. We don't want to take a plus 2,000 when it should be plus 200. But when they got to go out there and the books got to do their work and find these games, that's where we can roll our sleeves up and attack here. This line's moved from 3.5 to as high as 5 for incarnate word. Word up, road favorites. 62% of the bets and 77% of the cash are on incarnate word up. Line's dropping though. It's gone from 150.5 down to 149.5 down to 148.5. And we have 78% of the bets and 81% of the cash on the under. Now, would you be surprised if New Orleans just came out here and won this thing outright? Maybe a little bit. Yeah, they stink. They're 2-7. We see that. Southeast Louisiana is a little gem. That's Daddy's little secret. Don't tell anybody, but Southeast Louisiana has been quietly making me a lot of cash. And they got busted up. 91-71 to Southeast Louisiana. Busted up because they were 6.5-point dogs and they lose by 20 spot. Then they go on the road for 3 games. Now, I know, look, you can only play your conference, and if you don't have a good conference record, it's hard to defend, clearly. Lamar, they bust them up 68-62 as 12.5-point dogs. They won the game outright by 6. They followed it up 6.5-point dogs to Eastern Texas A&M Commerce. 82 set. I don't know if there's any possible way that they could put more words into that name. Is that the most in college? Maybe. 82-63. They win by 9 as 6.5-point dogs. Now we got a team on the road starting to surge. They go out to Northwestern State. They're 9.5-point dogs. They lose by 12, and they come back home. So they had a 3-gamer on the road. They picked up their first 2. Maybe some fatigue sets in, and then they fire back against that Houston Christian, and they lose 86-76. They don't know if they're going to win. They don't know if they're going to lose. They go over, they go under. They go over, they go under. They're just a back and forth. They're here. And we've got 4 of the last 5 games have gone over on the Incarnate Word side of things. But yet the action is coming in, and they're pounding on this under. I got to agree here. I'm sorry. I don't agree here. Let me see what I got. Fuck this up. I did fuck this up. Bear with me. Bear with me. I'm glad I got this. Glad I caught this because I do want this over. Rifling off all kinds of numbers. What the hell? How about this, though? We do have intersecting zeros. Had to be particular about this. Now, Incarnate Word, sitting themselves in a pretty little position when they're a favorite of less than 7.5 points after a loss. When you buy low on Incarnate Word, they're 11-0 against the spread. They're a surprise team. You don't know who's going to show up. It's shitbags like the Pittsburgh Penguins that we talked about earlier. On the other side of things, though, it's the total. When we look at these 2 teams, and we have the intersecting zeros. Well, we've got New Orleans at home with a total less than 157. They're going over. They've gone over 11 straight times, but it's the margin. They're going over by 13 points, plus 13.2 points a game. They're going over when they're at home on a soft total of less than 157.5. And the thing is, Incarnate Word's going over when they're in the favorite role of less than 14.5. So it should be 14.5 is hard to say. It should be a tight game, but it's not going to be a blowout. How about that? It's not expected to be a blowout. And they shot less than 7 threes the previous game. You're buying low on the total for this team because it should be close. It should not be one-sided where everybody starts sitting in the backdoor cover, pops back into play. It should be an Incarnate Word spot, but 7-0 to the over for Incarnate Word, 11-0 to the over for New Orleans. I'm going to take the 150. I'm going to take the 150 on this game. My bad. I'm glad I double-checked that because I'd have been pissed if it goes to 165 as it should by the numbers. And I'm sitting there feeling great, and I look back and I say, oh, fuck, I took a loss. Had to make sure we got that right. Yikes. All right. Onward, upward, NBA time of things here. I'm conflicted. I'm conflicted on the side for this Toronto and Pelicans game. I'm conflicted on the total for this Pelicans game as well. I mean, if you look at the spot overall, we've got ourselves in a position where the Pelicans come in there as 1.5-point dogs. They open up to now 2.5-point favorites. And you have reverse line movement. You have 70% of the bets and 66% of the cash on Toronto, and yet it's moved. The total has been going up. 10 points from the opener, 224 to 234. 58% of the bets, 67% of the cash on the over, and it's going up. I don't know, it's a weird one. Yeah, I mean, if you look overall, the Raptors have won 3 games in a row. They have a chance to be a over 500 team in their last 10-game sample. It'll be the first time this season they've done anything well as a squad whatsoever. So I get why Bo Jackson says Toronto. I struggle, though. I still struggle. Here's the spot that I want to take, though. I'm going to go to our guy, Scotty Barnes, and I'm going to look at his double-double number. This is the one I was saying spending. Maybe this is an ad spot, man. He's not 3-1, though. He's plus 135. He scored 10 or more points in 10 straight games. He's got a double-double in 3 of his last 4. And that's the trick for me is this team's winning games, and they need Scotty to be that player to do that for them. His rebounding numbers got him there twice with those double-doubles. His assist number got him there once. His rebounding line is at 8.5, and it's juiced. So his assist line is 6.5 with positive money. Probably going to be the rebounding spot that gets him there. Man, there's a lot of ways you could consider playing Scotty here tonight. I mean, over 14.5 for his rebounds and assists. I don't hate that. The Pelicans do allow 55 rebounds a game. They're averaging 59 rebounds a game over their past 3. So there's a team that's allowing more rebounds in their recent form over the course of the year. And they allow 55.5 rebounds a game on the road. So they're even worse when they're on the road than when they're at home. I think it's a good opportunity for us here. I think we take this double spot. We take this plus 135. We consider it a gift. And we roll on to some NBA. And I'll keep her moving. Keep her moving. Juggler 23. When 2 crap teams play each other in small range spreads, the team business. I agree. Unrivaled Lunar Owls. Vinyl. Over 146.5. Who the hell is that? It's Ramon Scott. I guess I should know, but I just don't. Is that college? Or is that, I don't know. Tell me who that is, Ramon. I want to play it. Just tell me who it is. I'll throw 50 on it. That's what I got to do to get a little side action on that. But we're banded up for these games here tonight, so it's going to be a lot of fun. Nick Serta says I hit the live under 110.5 this morning, and the Eastern Illinois Little Rock game. It ended right there, man. Good job. Good job. All right. Let's go. And we've got ourselves going on this. Houston probably wins the game outright, Rockets against the Boston. Probably going to get the shit kicked out of them again because they just won Celtics. 6.5 where the line opened up. It's dropped to 6. We only have 46% of the bets, but we have 50. I don't know who the fuck the Lunar Owls are. I'll support them. I just don't know who they are, sub. I know it's not soccer because 147.5. It's got to be basketball. It's got to be basketball, right? All right. 54 and 50. 54% of the bets and 50% of the cash on the Rockets. We'll get to it. 221.5 is the total. It hasn't moved. We had 87% of the bets and 89% of the cash on the over. Don't be surprised when the Rockets win this game outright. And goddamn, we've been so close with these. So we almost had that big 10-pointer the other night. It's because the predictability that is the Celtics, that are the Celtics, is when they win, they lose. Sorry, Nancy Nate, it's a fact. And, man, who's the best NBA team on the road this year against the spread? Anybody? 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 It's the Rockets. It's the Rockets that are the best team on the spread against on the road this season. And if you want the proof around this Clippers team, I mean, look. I'm not sorry. The Celtics team, 122-107, they won against Dallas. They lost the game before that. They won the game before that. 12-point favorites against the Clippers. They win 117-113. They don't cover. Prior to that, they played Golden State. They beat Golden State 125-85. They bludgeoned them by 40 points as 9-point favorites. Win one, lose one. Win one, lose one. Win one, lose one. Win one, lose one. All season long, and you got the best road team coming into the building, and you're only a 6-point favorite? How about some intersecting zeros? Who wants to get into the intersecting zero business? Houston is a perfect 9-0 against the spread with rest after allowing 14 to 19 threes the previous game. Tighten up, shore up the perimeter, and the best part about that, it was the Cleveland Cavaliers. One of, if not the best team in the NBA. 135 points. It was also The second time in back-to-back spots that they saw that. So, yeah, we're almost fudging the number because they allowed 14 to 19 threes. But it was such a tremendous spot for Cleveland to go in there and bust them up that it just, I feel like it's a gift for us here on this Houston side of things at 9-0. It's Boston. It's 0-15 against the spread when they're a favorite of more than 2.5 points and a cover. That's it. Game over. Houston Rockets. Yeah, I know Jabari Smith still got it. Porzingis is questionable. Okay, we'll expect him to play. I saw our man there. Nasty Nate is tossing him in for some player props. So we'll roll with it. Shout out to my guy, Russ. What's up, Russ? That's my dude right there. Russ, I was telling the story not too long ago about the whiteboard where I used to diagram out what was it there? I can't think of the name of it. The grand salami for hockey. The grand salami for hockey when it was a 5.5. So, shout out to you, Russ. Thanks for coming in, my dude. Appreciate you rocking with us here. Grand salami, thank you. I couldn't think of the name, dude. I was like stumbling on the tip of my tongue with it, but yeah, Russ was there. He saw it. Oh man, let's go. So we got this Boston-Houston spot. I do believe it's a good Houston opportunity for us to get paid. I don't have one on the board. I added it, though. I can't not bring it in there for you guys here. 7:30 at the Garden, the Grizz and the Knicks. Ja Morant's coming to town. Plus 4.5's going to plus 3s for the Grizz. They got 70% of the bets and 61% of the cash on the Grizz. And they got a total that's on the rise, expecting an absolute shootout. Right now, the number was 239.5, which I believe is the highest number on the board tonight. And it's only gone up. We talked about this last week. Sometimes when you see the highest number on the board, you just bang it and hit it again. And that's maybe what needs to happen here with this game. But I'm on the side. We had 67% of the bets and 65% of the cash on the over. It's gone up 3 points. So interesting. Overs, dogs. We know the correlation. And we see the dog prices coming down and the over numbers going up. Ja at the Garden. You don't think he's going to be ready to fire on this thing? Furthermore, look, Memphis is red hot right now. They got 5 straight firing on everybody. Now, they did just have a collectively long road stand. They had 4 straight at home. I'm sorry, homestand. Minnesota, 108-106. Charlotte, 132-120. Pelicanos busted them bitches up 139-126. And they got Utah, 125-103 for the Grizz. So they're taking it on the road. Not only are they taking it on the road, but they had a day off in between. As did the Knicks, and the Knicks are 4-1 in their last 5 games. But who have you played? They beat the Sixers, 125-119. They lost to Minnesota, 116-119 at home. They beat Atlanta at home, 119-110. They get on the road. They're 11.5-point favorites against the Nets. They get busted up. That's a small little travel spot, too. So despite it being a road game, it's Manhattan to Brooklyn. I mean, it's, depending on traffic, 15 minutes. Then you got the Sacramento Kings. They go back home and they get right back against the Sacramento Kings, 143-120. And this might just be a buy low spot. Grizz, actually, it's really a sell high spot, I think, when you look at this Memphis side of things. The big spot for me that I saw is we talk about these numbers and we got to take advantage of them, right? We've been doing it with the Trailblazers. Teams match up against their divisional opponents. They're built to match up against their divisional opponents. But you can find some corollaries when they go out of division, or in this case, when Memphis plays the Eastern Conference. They're 11-0, straight up and against the spread. They're also 11-0 to the over. They got too much gas. You don't want any of the smoke the Grizz bring into the town. And I think that's the big problem here. I had to add the Grizzlies for this one here. I love the 3 points. You got some significant movement on the money line. It's come down almost 50 cents on the Knicks side of things. They're begging to take the Knicks in this game. And they want to just make it more and more and more attractive. But they're concerned about those bigger bets. I got to take Memphis. I'm in. In on Memphis. And look, what do we got? We got one left here, I believe, if I'm not mistaken for you guys. We do. We do. We got a fun little spot here to wrap this game up here on the evening. The Denver Nuggets, the Chicago Bulls. I think I've decided that the Bulls are just pure shit. They fucked their boost trends up. The Giddy stuff out of there was great for us with the threes. Giddy comes in, the rebound numbers goes up, and then, I don't know, the Bulls just kind of seem like they stopped trying. 7.5 has gone to 9. Home dogs. The Nuggets are swelling as a road favorite with 72% of the bets and 73% of the cash on the Nuggets. Oops, bear with me for 1 second here. I got to refresh this. Right at the end. Right at the end. Then I see the total went from 244.5 to 248, which is interesting because the money's coming in on the under. We have 60% of the bets and 58% of the cash on the under. And yet, we got the money coming in on the over. So, I'm sorry. The total's gone up and the money's coming in on the under. Sorry, I had to refresh. I was filibustering as I refreshed in that spot. But we picked a couple of guys out of the bullpen. Just a few players that have made the sports money starting 5. I don't know. One of them is Scotty Barnes. We got him for the double-double tonight. We're going to let Boost kind of sit on ice for a minute. I saw his over 1.5 threes is minus 120, and his 10.5 rebounds is, it's just typical Boost range. He just hasn't quite got that rhythm again since Giddy's come back in the lineup. That was the pivot guy that we talked about before. But we got the Nuggets coming off a loss on the road to the Timberwolves. Not just a loss. They got bludgeoned 133 to 104 as 3.5-point favorites. Busted up. Ugly. Embarrassing. Points flying all around. 4 of their last 5 games have gone over, and they had to sit there stewing as they rolled into Chicago. Meanwhile, the Bulls took that humiliating loss to the Sixers, 109-97, as 3.5-point favorites. They also lost to Golden State on the road, 131-106. They did beat the Clippers, 112-99. But, man, they lost to Portland in Portland. Remember we talked about how shitty Portland is at home? 2 bad teams at home, Portland and Utah. They lose 113-102 on the road at Portland. And they lost to Charlotte when Charlotte had clipped wings down there with everybody sitting out 125-123, 4.5-point favorites. So the Bulls are, well, no way to sugarcoat it. They're not great. And that's to say the least. But you know who's part of our starting 5? You know who it is. Do I got to tell you? You already know Christian Braun is back in our lineup again tonight. And what a creative way I thought to play this game. Screw the spread. Let's just get some Christian Braun back on our list. Remember the other day, his 15 plus was plus 350. Ladder, baby, ladder. He got over 20 points that game. And he did it in 3 quarters. Again, the guy's fucking machine. He's hit his points total 5 straight games. And you got to take a look at this thing here. His line started at 10.5. It's gone to 11.5. It's gone to 12.5. He's got 20 or more in 3 of his last 4 games and 4 of his last 6 games. We talked about why. He's playing with terrific rebounding and assist specialist in Westbrook and Jokic. He's the big transition, fast-paced guy. Turn it up court and let him go out there and get those points. So, pretty straightforward. Pretty short, sweet, and to the point with this one here. Give me over 12.5 points. Give me Denver on the money line. And give me a plus 125. I'm sorry, plus 128. Over 12.5 points. And by the way, certainly don't be scared not to ladder this thing here. If you do it right, maybe you take a full unit on the Braun over 12.5 with Denver. That's a plus 128. Maybe you take a half a unit. Split it up till you get a quarter unit at the plus 350 range for 15 or 16 plus. Maybe take another one at 20 plus for another quarter unit. And if you get to the first threshold of your ladder, shit, you made 3 units on a unit and a half investment between the side and the game. So way to play it, way to consider it a strategy to nuke the bookies tonight, you guys. And that's how we're going to put the boat on the show. If you haven't done so yet, please take a second and make sure you hit that thumbs up button for us. Appreciate all you guys rocking here tonight, man. We had a full house. Irish King likes Denver easy. Juggler saying, KD, no problem. You're just having fun. Pros rarely parlay. I'll parlay the shit out of everything. But I agree. You don't find a lot of believers in the. I just like to get the player props tied to it. I like to get the juice down, but not by way of regulation plays and -1. So I like to get it down. Throw a player prop in there. Let's get it. Shout out to David Wallace. Joseph Alvarado's my dude. Chicago still loves you guys. Sports money. I'm on Denver. Let's go. Peter Gracia blessed our action today with the $9.99 super sticker. He's giving a shout out to Ramon. Shout out to Nathan Cerna. Spenny Penny Bombs was looking at bench player for Denver for points. Draw there. Sticks out at 15 plus at plus 475. Nathan Cerna needs these Wolverines. Let's go, you guys. Appreciate you all rocking with us. Shout out to KD, Ron Lofton. There's the Joker triple-double for our guy Spenny Pennybomb. Says it's a... Oh, with the Russ double-double was plus 1,000. Huh. Wow. Good for you guys, man. Thank you guys all for hanging out. Rick J, J Main. Great to see my dude Russ in the chat. Let's go, man. Rick J, appreciate you guys all coming in here. Make sure you smash that thumbs up button. On behalf of the Sports Money team, appreciate you guys for watching. And check my guy out tomorrow morning, Ramon Scott. We might get in the lab and shoot some Champions League action here, but we will plan to go live on Wednesday as well. So lots of moving parts this week. Just happy you guys are a part of it with us. Good luck with your bets tonight. And let's see if we can keep this trend going with a little outro from our man, Jay Peasy. Appreciate all you guys. Thanks for watching. Monday to Friday, 6 p.m. We don't stop. Rain, sleet, or snow. Pregaming is good to go.
Snow, Curtis blow, flow, fuck all you haters. Fuck making bitch using best simulators. Fuck cashing in, all we wanna do is win. Put the juice in the gin, now it's time to begin. Fuck the books, they can take it on the chin. Surrendering dividends, don't fuck with my game. The show starts with capping and ends with them slapping and stacking cash and boatloads. They won't know what happened. It's pre-gaming and others, they seem lame. Like Abel, meeting Cain, a bullet to the brain. We don't give a fuck like Kiki said. We ain't playing, we ain't playing, but we ain't playing.
I'm back and I'm joined with my guy,